صباح الخير. مساء الخير لأهلنا بغزة. We're very happy to have Najia join us again this week from Gaza, and she will be starting to give us her update. But we also have speakers from Sudan and also from Gaza, and other doctors from the US who will provide us with different updates. So thank you so much for joining us. And I will ask Najiyah to start. And as usual, Najiyah بتحكي بالعربي وأنا بترجم لك بس شوي شوي علي. Okay.
تمام.
Okay. So أهلا وسهلا نجية، كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله. كيفكم انتم؟
الحمد لله. اشتقينا. تفضلي أعطينا الأبديت من عندك، التقرير، شو عم بيصير معك، شو خبرينا.
ال- يعني الشيء الجديد اللي صاير عندنا انه احنا لما نصحى من النوم ونكون الملابس فاتحه بنصحى بنلاقيها منقطه بسبب الحشرات. براغيث، حشرات ما بنعرفها اساسا، حشرات غير مرئيه. في ناس هذه الاشياء بتسبب عندهم التهابات وحبوب، وفي ناس لا، المناعه عندهم الحمد لله منيحه.
أوكي.
فهذا يعني الاشي الظاهر حاليا.
أوكي. هالحكي هذا صار له قديش؟
خلوا والله فرق، حاولوا يوشوا على الناس انه ما بس يعني مش عارفه كل الكائنات اللي عندنا مطوره نفسها على المبيدات الموجوده.
قديش صار له هذا الحكي؟
ما بعرف السبب
صار له كم من
صراحه.
أسبوع؟
لا، صار له اكثر من شهر والكل
أوكي.
يشتكي منه، بس انه بزيد مع الحراره بزيد.
Mhm, mhm. So Najia's update for this week, she said every time they wake up in their tents, they grab like their garments, their clothing, and they find them infested with different types of bugs, fleas, etc. And this has been a major cause for skin infections and other irritants. It seems that this particular type of bug has mutilated in some way, and it's resistant to most available pesticides that they have. تفضلي.
هلا مع دخول الصيف طبعا انتوا الناس بالخيام ما في عندهم اي وسيله لانهم يعني لمتر واحد من الضله، فهذا بعرضهم اكثر لامراض جلديه اضافيه حشرات وحبوب بتسبب هذه الاشياء. غير ما أثرت على الجسم. هذا كله عامل عند اهل غزه يأس كبير. مرضوا هذا الشيء صراحه، مش عارفين حد لان انا بالنهايه مش طبيبه. تمام.
Okay, so this is further exacerbated because of the weather. It's getting hotter. This is already making things complicated. There's hardly anywhere in Gaza right now, especially in the displacement camps, which is pretty much 90% of the people. There is no shades, no available, shaded areas. And so the people are exposed to the sun almost all the time. So, combination of that with the bug bites, it is creating a very difficult situation for people in Gaza, and people are getting even mentally exhausted because of this. تفضلي.
بعدين في ظاهرة جديدة، هلا التكيات بكل مكان بلشت تسكر، لأنه الداعمين اللي برا مش عارفة إذا الموضوع في جهة ثانية بيصرفوا فيها الأموال اللي بتسكر. سبب من أنواع، مش بس إنه
نجية مش سامعينك منيح، مش عارفة إذا النت مش واضح. بس اللي فهمته إنه قلتي التكيات عم بتسكر لأنه ما في دعم من المانحين.
أوضح.
نجرب.
قيمي الفيديو من غير الفيديو بجوز أحسن.
تمام.
تفضلي.
هيك أفضل. هيك أفضل.
ممكن نجرب.
ألو.
سامعينك يا نجية.
بحكي إنه التكيات او المشاريع التكيات اللي فاتحه غير الغذاء العالمي، لانه الغذاء العالمي اساسا ما بيصل لكل الاماكن. بلش يسكر بسبب انه المانحين او العالم الخارجي صار نظروا على دول تانية. تمام. في ناس عن جد ما بيصلها الأكل صار، وغير إنه في مشكلة بالخبز حاليا، كان في مشكلة كبيرة بالخبز. وبدي أضيف كمان شغلة، إنه في المية عنا فيها أزمة كبيرة من أيام ما في مشكلة مع شركة إيتا، ما بعرف إذا بتعرفوها ولا لا، أنا مش عارف شو أسبابها. المية الحلوة.
ايش اسم الشركة؟
ألو.
ايوه سامعينك.
شركة إيتا عنا
ايتا، اوكي. اوكي.
كانت هي اللي توفر المية الحلوة، حاليا ما بتوفر.
ما عم بتوفر، طب كيف الناس عم تجيب مي؟
في يمكن المبادرين او مانحين من برا، وهذا نادر. يعني احنا بتجينا المية الحلوة مرة بالاسبوع، وثلاث اربع ايام بالاسبوع من غير مية، فبنشرب المية اللي هي من العادة من الابار، فمش عارفين اذا هي اصلا بتصح للانسان ولا لا.
مم. Okay, so you know, as I mentioned earlier, so about 90% of people in Gaza are in displacement camps, and they rely heavily on soup kitchens, on food support. And it sounds that a few of these providers for the soup kitchens have closed down their operations. Najia thinks it's because of the donor lack of interest in continuing to support this. And I think a lot of people think that just because there has been this fake ceasefire announced, that the attention has been diverted elsewhere. And so now a lot of people are not getting food. And on top of that, the water delivery through a local provider called ETA has been inconsistent. So she says like they get good water or like drinkable water once every 4 days. The rest of the time they have to use waters from like wells, and she's not sure if that's even, you know, clean or suitable for human consumption. تفضلي.
خبرتكم من قبل انه الشخص منا هنا الاكثر شيء بيفرحه اللي هو الزرع، انه بنزرع والوردة بتحيي فينا حياة كل ما تطلع. فلو في وسائل ادخال حبوب تفيد، يعني زرع يفيدنا اللي هي الخضار فواكه، ويكون الاكتفاء ذاتي، يعني احنا نسعى بنفسنا انه كل انسان يكون عنده مثلا جزء انه يزرع فيه ويصير اكتفاء ذاتي. برأيي هذا الاشي كتير مهم.
اوكي.
لو في طريقة الحبوب تفوت، هذا كتير مهم الموضوع والله. خصوصا انه كمان مش بس انه ممكن يكفينا ذاتيا، بمنح حياة للانسان هنا، بدعمه نفسيا حتى.
Okay. So she's saying, you know, something she mentioned last time was that it would be really helpful if people were provided with seeds and means to plant some crops. You know, although it's going to be very limited because the space allowable is very limited, but that should help alleviate some of the pressure, you know, with regards to food security, although it's probably a drop in the ocean of what's required. But you know, the entire strip doesn't have enough seeds to plant. So providing these seeds will be very helpful. Of course, you need water and fertilizers, but that's one of the things that she mentioned would be helpful.
بحب، مش كله طبعا احنا مقاسي، احنا بحب احكي لكم انه احنا هنا بخير، وبلشنا يعني نكون افضل من قبل، وبلشنا نبني حياة بالزرع. أغنية ممكن تعمل عنا حياة هنا، اللي الناس بدأت تلملم جراحها. ما بدهم أكتر من إنه سلام وحياة بسيطة، تضلوا أنتم بخير ونضل إحنا بخير.
Yes, so Najia, and it's just like everybody else in Gaza, is resilient, of course, and optimistic. And she's saying, you know, despite all this, they are trying. They're trying to kind of pull themselves together and create what resembles normal life. Of course, there's nothing normal about being displaced 100 times. However, they are trying. They are, you know, optimistic. All they want is to live in peace, and you know, to raise their children in peace, and to have you know, dignity like everybody else in the world. And she also wishes all of us the same.
في أي أسئلة حد حابب يسألنا أي شيء؟
خلينا نشوف. ما في أسئلة. في أسئلة من البانelists؟ أي حدا من كرامة، نضال، anybody has questions؟ يعطيك العافية نجية، بهالمرة ما في أسئلة، بس شكرا كتير على حضورك معنا.
ولا يهمك، موجودة على طول لكم.
شكرا حبيبتي.
حبيبي.
Okay, great, perfect. Okay, I think the next update is coming to us from Sudan. Dr. Al Sadiq, would you like to introduce Al Ma'moon?
Yes, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. So I wanted to start by just giving some updates in Sudan. As we all know, the humanitarian crisis is ongoing. There are over 30 million people in need of aid, accounting for 10% of the world's needs. Women and children remain at risk with sexual violence ongoing and recruitment of child soldiers ongoing. 28.9 million people are acutely food insecure. 10 million people face extreme hunger, and over 70% of hospitals have collapsed. There are over 130,000 cases of cholera with over 3,000 deaths. Malaria is rampant. A lot of issues are ongoing. Displacement remains a huge concern, with 6.8 million people internally displaced within Sudan, 1.3 million displaced into South Sudan, nearly a million into Chad, over a million in other surrounding countries, including Libya and Uganda, and then 1.5 million people displaced to Egypt. With so much of the Sudanese population displaced to Egypt, we do have several members of our community, alhamdulillah, working to provide aid for Sudan. This includes Al Mamoun, who will be speaking today about his organization, inshallah, who is working to provide both clinical aid with healthcare as far as physicians and medications, as well as providing food. And this is not unique. There are many different groups within Sudan doing this. So I'd like to highlight Mamoun Farah, and I'll turn it over to you, Mamoun, inshallah.
تفضل مأمون. مأمون عربي ولا إنجليزي بتحكي؟
I think he'll speak in Arabic, and I can do.
You gonna translate?
I'll do my best.
Okay.
If that's something. Okay.
تفضل.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أنا مأمون نجم الدين، مواطن سوداني، ويعني أنا المدير والفاوندر اوف المبادرة بتاعت آل المهدي وخلفائه. المبادرة هي قامت في الأول يعني للأوضاع الإنسانية السيئة في السودان، وده بيخليني هنا أرجع للكلام اللي قالته السيدة ناجية وأقول لها يعني قلوبنا معاكم. نحن من أكثر الناس اللي ممكن نكون يعني حاسين بالمعاناة اللي انتوا هسه مارين بيها، لأنه كثير من الكلام اللي هي بتقوله هو حاصل في السودان الآن. فيعني وهي بتتكلم فعلا يعني أنا لمست الأوضاع اللي هي ممكن تكون عايشاها.
Mamoun, sorry, if I can just jump in to translate. Actually, it might be better if somebody else translates. Just because I think it'll be faster.
No problem. What's the name of the organization?
آل المهدي وخلفائه، مبادرة آل المهدي وخلفائه.
آل المهدي وخلفائه. Okay.
Yeah.
So Al Ma'moun is the president, right? المدير the president of Al Mahdi wa Khulafa'o organization, humanitarian organization. He's currently based out of Cairo. The first thing he started with was to show solidarity with نجية، بحكي لك اللي انتم بتمروا فيه بغزة أهل السودان بيمروا فيه بنفس الوقت، يعني he's showing his solidarity with the people of Gaza reflecting on what Najia has mentioned, and then kind of drawing the points that it's really similar, like the patterns that are happening in Gaza are also occurring in Sudan. So that's where we are. تفضل.
وبعد
بحكي
ذاك
له انه الجرح واحد والقلب واحد.
القلب واحد.
ايوه
بحكي له انه المظلوم في كل مكان هو بس اللي بيحس بالمظلوم في اي مكان تاني، وانه الجرح واحد والقلب واحد، وانه احنا بنتمنى لهم الخير زي انه واكثر.
صحيح صحيح صحيح.
Okay, she's saying that it's the same hurt, the same heart, and people who feel injustice anywhere in the world, they're the most empathetic. They can feel other people's pain. تفضل يا مأمون.
شكرا لك استاذة نجية، واتمنى انك يعني دائما تكوني بخير. بالنسبه للكلام اللي ذكره الان الدكتور صديق، ده كله كلام واقعي وارقام واقعيه واشياء كلها الان يعني حاصله في السودان. فهي اساسا الفكره بتاعت المنظمه او المبادره بتاعتنا لما قامت للاوضاع الانسانيه السيئه في السودان، وكانت الوقت ده بتتزامن مع وجود وباءات في السودان. فهي المبادره اساسا لما بدات كعمل عائلي، لانه العائله بتاعت المهدي في السودان من العوائل اللي ساهمت في تاسيس الدوله السودانيه نفسها. فبنحس انه علينا واجب اخلاقي وديني وواجب وطني، انه دائما لو اي شيء في السودان حصل لازم نكون من الدروع بتاعت السودان يعني، ونحمي السودان ونساعد اهل السودان. فبدانا المبادره دي.
تفضل. خليني أترجم. He's saying that basically he confirms all the numbers, all the information that was shared by Dr. Al-Siddiq Al-Mahdi, and he's saying that basically this initiative, it was a result or a response to the catastrophic collapse in health and livelihood that is happening in Sudan. The organization name is actually after a family, which is, I guess this family is the founding family for the state of Sudan. And so they feel a sense of responsibility to continue with a humanitarian response and create programs to respond to catastrophic, epidemics and, humanitarian crisis in Sudan.
الان نحن نقوم باعمال. في البدايه بنقوم بالمعونات الغذائيه. لاني احاول يعني اديك بعض الصور عشان تشوف الواقع هناك.
He's getting ready to show some images from the initiative.
Can you share? You can share if you want.
Yeah, just a minute. اوكي.
إذا أسهل لك تبعتها لدكتور الصديق.
المفروض تكون كده ظاهره.
Okay, here we are.
Well,
أها.
في فواتير.
الصور اللي امامكم الان هي بتوري الاشياء اللي قاعدين نقوم بها في السودان. في البدايه نحن بنقدم معونات لحوالي 172 اسره من الاسر المقيمين داخل السودان، وكثير منهم داخل الخرطوم. فقمنا بتقديم التالي. كما شايفين قدامكم بنقدم مواد غذائية شهريا لكل أسرة من الأسر دي، في باج أو أكياس زي ما ظاهر أمامكم. فيها ده سكر، وفيها دقيق وزيت ورز وعدس وكل المعينات اللي ممكن تكون أساسية في الغذاء. أما من الناحية الثانية يوجد مرفقة فواتير
معلش
للدواء.
معلش مأمون بس عشان يترجموا.
أيوة
آه،
أوكي.
Um, okay, so what he was showing, there's a combination of things. The receipts are actually for medicine. You can see there's like insulin here and other medical supplies, and then they provide food parcels to the families. بس ما عرفتش بالضبط وين، بالخرطوم هو حكى؟
نعم نعم.
خرطوم.
الخرطوم. Okay, so the capital. So and how many families؟ كم عائلة؟
172 الآن.
They are currently supporting 270 families.
172
122?
72 72.
Oh, 172.
Yeah.
172 families.
Yeah, exactly. As I said بنقدم المساعدات دي لهذه الأسر. تشمل الدواء اللي هو بنوفره لهم عن طريق صيدليات عشان الأدوية بتحتاج معاملة خاصة،
Mhm.
والغذاء بيتم تسليمه لهم في بيوتهم أو بيجي يستلموه من مكان معين. ونحن قمنا بالعملية دي مع إننا نحن كنا بندعم التكية. في تكية يعني عندنا جامع برضو تبع الأسرة في منطقة أم درمان، فبنقدم فيه غذاء كان عن طريق التكية.
Mm.
فوجدنا أن بعض الأسر يعني بتخجل أو عندها بتكون شاي إنها تمشي هناك، لأنه قبل الحرب أوضاعها كانت كويسة وكده. فيا هو قمنا استعدنا عن الموضوع ده بالباكس المواد الغذائية عشان نوصلها لهم في بيوتهم ونبعد عنهم الحرج يعني.
تمام. Okay, so basically the way the distribution works is obviously medication has to be dispensed by, a qualified pharmacist or doctor. The food parcels are delivered to the family homes. And he said that they used to have soup kitchens, hot meal kitchens out of one of the mosques, and they moved away from that model because they felt that the people, they were not comfortable with this model. Obviously, we see the same thing in Gaza, actually. Our preference is always to provide meal parcels or meal boxes because it's just maintains the dignity of the people, and it gives them more autonomy so they can cook, the way they see appropriate. So it provides more autonomy for the families. So they moved from that model to providing food baskets. تفضل. Did we lose him?
مأمون.
Sorry, I have a problem in connection.
تفضل.
Okay. Now we can talk about the goals الأهداف بتاعتنا. الأهداف بتاعتنا الآن تتمحور حوالين يعني تحتاج لمزيد من الدواء لأنه في حوجة حقيقية في السودان، ويوجد مشكلة أيضا في طريقة دخول الدواء imported to Sudan. We have problems. So we بقينا بنشتري من الصيدليات المحلية لأنه ما بنقدر ندخل من خارج السودان. ده بالنسبة للدواء. والدواء فيه حوجة كبيرة، وغالبا في الفترة القادمة حيكون فيه حوجة أكبر لأنه الخريف بيرتبط بالوباءات على طول يعني تبدأ الوباءات. فالفترة القادمة حيكون في حوجة له أكبر، وللأسف في زيادة كبيرة جدا قد تتعدى 50% في أسعار الدواء في السودان. يعني يبدو
ايش
انه
سبب
تعرف
الزيادة؟
ايه
ايش سبب الزيادة بالأسعار؟
سعر الصرف زاد بصورة كبيرة جدا. سعر
العملة
صرف سعر صرف الدولار زاد بطريقة كبيرة بسبب الحرب، يعني حرب إيران وكده أثرت أيضا. فبقى في مشكلة، حتى الغذاء فيه زيادة حوالي 30%.
اوكي.
يعني.
مم.
ونحن كان السورسز بتاعت المال بتاعنا او يعني الفونز من مننا، يعني من الفاميلي، يعني بناخد تبرعات من
مم.
افراد الاسره وكده. وبنقوم بهذا العمل يعني برعايه ال 172 اسره. فلكن الان بسبب الزيادات دي العمل اصبح مهدد بالاستمرار.
العامل اللي بيشتغل معكم
لا لا، العمل كله، المنظمه كلها
عمل
اصبح.
مهدد بسبب فرق العملة والأسعار المرتفعة اوكي.
لانه ايوه، لانه الفونز محدوده.
مم.
الفونز اللي بتقول لنا نحن ما قاعدين ناخذ من اي جهه، نحن تبرعات من الاسره فقط، يعني ما قاعدين ناخذ جهه ثانيه.
مم. مم.
فالان اصبحنا منفتحين اكثر انه نجيب اي تبرعات من برا،
مم.
لانه الاوضاع في السودان زايده سوءا،
مم.
ما
مم.
ماشيه تتحلى، يعني انسانيه ماشيه لاسوء يعني.
اوكي. خليني أترجم.
فتفضل.
Um, okay, so this initiative is actually fully funded by the family. And so what he's saying is there has been a significant increase, about 50% increase in the cost of medication and 30% increase in the cost of food. And this is driven mainly because of the war in the region in Iran, which also meant that the currency exchange has resulted in price inflation. So basically what he's suggesting is that this whole initiative is at risk because since it is actually coming from family funding, it's exhausting the resources, and this is why they are looking for additional funding from partners like Doctors Against Genocide or other donors who can support, sustain, and maintain this initiative. تفضل.
ومن اهدافنا القادمه، يعني اذا استمر العمل بهذه صوره الغذاء والدواء وطورنا فيه، يعني عندنا بعض الأهداف إنه نكبر السكايا ونزيد عدد الأسر اللي بيتم دعمها وهكذا، والناس اللي بتتلقى العلاج وكده. ويعني بنفكر إنه أساسا ندعم المستشفيات لو لقينا طريقة في العمليات تحديدا، حاجات الحرج، حالات الحرج. ف... وبعد ذاك الخطوة القادمة، يعني إذا مشينا لقدام، إنه نقدر نوفر مشاريع صغيرة للإنسان الذي تضرر من هذه الحرب، ويعني كان خسر وظيفته، خسر عمله whatever. يعني بيفكر في إنشاء مشاريع صغيرة لتشجيع المنتجين للبداية من جديد في العمل. ويعني ده ذاته بيقلل التكلفة، الفاتورة بتاعت العمل الخيري، طالما الناس ابتدت تعمل والمشاريع ابتدت تشتغل، فبيقلل التكاليف.
Additional funding will allow them to expand their impact, obviously reach out to additional families who are also, in need that they cannot reach right now, given their very limited resources. The other initiatives that they're thinking about is to create an opportunity or opportunities for families to earn money, to fund smaller projects, potentially like something like microfinance to help them earn and generate income so that the reliance on food deliveries, becomes less prominent, and they can actually earn money to support their own families.
اسمحي لي آخر حاجة حابة أتكلم عن المعوقات اللي بتواجهنا. طبعا ذكرت موضوع المال تكلمنا عنه سابقا، وعندنا المعوقات اللوجستية طبعا. التحرك، التنقل بين الولايات بالمواد الغذائية والأدوية مشكلة. ويعني نحن عندنا علاقات ممتدة جدا، عارفين غربا وشرقا وجنوبا وشمالا الحافظ. يعني نحن في مناطق حابين نودي لها تبرعات، يعني اهلنا وناسنا بنعرفهم كويس وعارفين اوضاعهم سيئه 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 جدا. والان الخريف قادم حيحصل كوارث انسانيه وحيحصل فيضانات. وي نو ذات فروم ناو، وي نو ات. لكن لوجيستيك ما بنقدر كان، يعني لانه اساسا القوافل اللي حتمشي دي معرضه ليحصل لها اي حاجه. فالموضوع ده بيحتاج تنسيق، فبرضه دي من الحاجات اللي بنحتاج انه ننسق فيها مع السلطات
مع السلطات.
عشان
مم.
ايوه عشان نقدر نوفر الحاجه دي بعيدا عن النزاع عن قوات مسلحه او دعم سريع او هكذا. بس الانسان هو المهم، يعني مهما كانت المنطقه هو ده المهم بالنسبه لنا. فدي برضه من الخطوات القادمه جاري العمل عليها.
عم تشتغلوا عليها هاي.
ايوه نعم.
Mm. Okay, so in terms of the challenges that they're facing, obviously the limited financial resources is the major one. The other issue is logistically, basically the some of these families are in remote areas. The organization staff, they're very familiar with the basically with the geography, with the coverage area. However, because of the ongoing conflict and the challenges in safe passage, so there's no safe corridor currently to allow them to reach a lot of families that are in need, because they are, at risk of being attacked, intercepted, and so they're working on securing safe corridors so that they can deliver these support packages.
الان ده تعريف عن المنظمه بتاعتنا وعملنا اللي بنقوم به. فلو في اي سؤال انا جاهز.
So he's open to questions. I did see a question come up in in the chat that Dr. El-Sadiq is already answering. So what kind of food goes into the family parcels? شو أنواع الأكل اللي بتدخل بال يعني شو طبيعة الأكل اللي بتوزعوه؟
اوكي. في الصورة اللي قدمتها قبل شوية بيظهر بنقدم السكر بنوعيه ذرة وقمح.
الدقيق؟
الدقيق
أها
بنوعيه ذرة وقمح.
ذرة وقمح.
ايوه الذرة مرغوب ده محبوب في السودان يعني شوية. وعدس اللي هو طبعا من أهم الحاجات صحيا كويسة. ورز ومكرونة وزيت.
رز ومكرونة وزيت ودقيق طحين ودقيق ذرة وسكر وإيش كمان؟
وزيت.
زيت.
عدس.
مم.
يلا الحاجات دي يعني هي ده شكل الباك بيكون كده. لكن في بعض المرات بينقص ايتم بيكون زي ما قلت لك بنحتاج انه يعني الفند نقدر نخليها تكمل معانا الشهر. فمرات الباك ده ممكن ينقص ايتم من الحاجات دي، لكن في النهايه بيوفر ان شاء الله حاجات تقدر يعني تساعد الاسره غذائيا.
Okay. So in each food parcel, there's usually oil, sugar, corn flour, regular flour, pasta, rice, give or take, right? Like depends on what's available and what the budget is, but these are usually the staple items, and lentils as well. Okay, any other questions? Is Sudan a family-run business society? Don't quite understand about key families. Is this question about the society in general? It's a طبيعة المجتمع بالسودان يعني مشكل حوالين الأسرة. طبعا هي الأسرة مش هيك؟
لا ممكن السؤال ثاني؟
المجتمع السوداني يعني هو مجموعة من الأسر صح؟ يعني ما بتكون
Yeah. So there's a lot of initiatives now for many families to take it upon themselves to support their people. We see this with the soup kitchens that we're running. We see it with a lot of the families that have political leverage or power to support their communities. So throughout Sudan, this is going on. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
في شيء تحب تضيفه؟
Okay. So
في
I
سؤال
wanted to معلش.
Go ahead.
في
Oh, okay. So inshallah, I wanted to say that this is an ongoing initiative in Sudan. Inshallah, we'll be able to provide funds over time. I'll speak with Doctors Against Genocide, inshallah, offline to see if we can potentially work together to create a fundraiser or some way of providing funds for this initiative, inshallah. In addition to that, I wanted to continue to talk about the work that Sudanese American Physicians Association is doing in terms of doing ongoing healthcare projects throughout Sudan and providing food as well. We have the ongoing fundraiser for Qurbani to provide meat for families during Eid, which I'll put the fundraiser in the chat right now that people can donate. And in addition to that, we are also on accepting ongoing physician volunteers for medical mission trips to Sudan, inshallah. So hopefully I'll update you all whenever the next one is, but I will post the volunteer form in the chat for anyone that would like to sign up. And then with the upcoming Day on the Hill as well, there are several forms of legislation that we can use to target the needs and help increase aid to Sudan, so initiatives like this can continue to function, and then also call for an end to this war, because the two sides are at a stalemate right now, and it still has yet to lead to any kind of talks of a ceasefire, and that's the main issue currently.
Thank you, Dr. Al-Siddiq. Thank you, Al-Ma'moon. Thank you for the great work. So yes, we have to keep pushing this. تفضل.
أحب أشكركم في البداية طبعا أو في النهاية. أحب أشكركم جدا على المجهود العظيم اللي بتقوموا به. أنا يعني بعد ما الدكتور صديق أخبرني بالعمل بتاعكم فدخلت شفتها وشفت الأثر بتاعه وكده. فيعني لكم جزيل الشكر من كل العالم لاهتمامكم بكل الإنسانية ولدعمكم لكل القضايا الإنسانية ووقوفكم مع الناس المظلومة والناس المحتاجة. فشكرا لكم كثير، وأتمنى يعني إن التعاون بيناتنا يستمر دائما، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
ألف شكر لك. لا شكر على واجب يا مأمون. إيش اسمك؟ المأمون؟
المأمون نجم الدين. نعم.
المأمون نجمين. لا شكر على واجب، هذا واجبنا وإحنا مقصرين، وشكرا لكم. Thank you for all your initiatives, for all your work trying to help the impacted communities in Sudan and for our people in Gaza, in Congo, wherever human life is being impacted on. And again, none of us alone can do it. That's why we try to work with everyone. We need to unite our efforts. We need to help each other to make a bigger impact, inshallah. And as you heard earlier from our people in Gaza, the situation there continues to be dire. Again, the same as the situation in Sudan, in Congo, many other places. So it needs all of us for our shared humanity as human beings to unite and keep working and not give up until every human being is safe, until every human being is free, until every human being is treated equally, regardless of color, religion, faith, nationality. And this is our promise. And with your help, with Dr. Siddiq's help, with our colleagues' help here, inshallah, we will continue. The task is enormous. It's not easy. We know what we are facing, but we also believe in a better world and a better humanity where everyone is treated equal. And thank you, and inshallah we'll make a group with you and Dr. Siddiq on WhatsApp, and we can talk more about how we can be of more help for your organization, collaborate more initiatives, and our supporters here already heard your message, and inshallah they will be helping on our board. Please donate. We do have a fundraiser for Sudan. on our website. Hopefully Maisa can share it later on also. So donate on our link or donate to Saba to help our communities there and to make the work of Al Ma'mun and many people like him a little bit easier. And now we are going to switch to the other topic. It's our main topic for today, which is talking about our colleagues, the doctors, the healthcare workers, the nurses, the paramedics who continue to be abducted illegally by Israel and being tortured in torture camps for no crime they committed other than being doctors, other than practicing their profession, which is to help the victims, to provide care, regardless of who they are. As part of the medical neutralities, we as doctors, healthcare workers are obligated to provide care to anyone who walks in our facilities, our clinics, our emergency rooms. We don't have the obligation to check or investigate what is their political affiliation, what is their religious affiliation. This is what it means to have medical neutrality, which is to provide care for everyone. And our colleagues in Gaza did nothing other than that. They refused to abandon their patients. They refused to abandon their communities. They insisted on providing care to everyone who needed that care. And for that, many of them were killed. We know that more than 1,800 healthcare workers have been murdered by Israel in Gaza in the last 2+ years, where there are more than 500 healthcare workers murdered in Lebanon. The attack on healthcare by Israel is intentional. It is meant to break the soul of the people. We know that the people, the communities, whether they're in Sudan or in Lebanon or in Gaza, also the attack on healthcare in Sudan, few hundred or even actually more than 1,500 healthcare workers have been murdered in Sudan too. So these genocidal regimes are trying to normalize the attacks on healthcare because this is part of their genocidal campaign, because they know that the communities always feel safe or feel some sense of hope as long as the healthcare is working. And once the healthcare is down, once the hospital shut down, once there is no access to care, these communities become hopeless and they tend to move away. So part of the ethnic campaign, part of the genocide is the intentional attack on the healthcare, which is the medicide. Our colleague Hussam Abu Safiya, the famous pediatrician, the head of Kamal Udwan Hospital, that did everything he can to practice his profession, which is medicine, to take care of the children, to take care of the people who come to his hospital. As you remember, many of you who were with us from the beginning, we had meetings with him. He came to this very webinar himself, and he appealed to us, and he appealed to the international community, he appealed to even the president to stop the attack on the healthcare, to protect the hospital, to protect the health care staff, and to protect the patients. And he even corresponded with anyone and everyone at that time to protect them. And he also said that they can come and check and to make sure that we don't have any forbidden activities in the hospital. Anyone can come and check. And despite all of this, they ended up abducting him, and he has been subjected to all kinds of humiliation, torture. He has been deprived access to care for more than a year now. And as you all heard last month, they extended his detention for another 6 months under the illegal, unlawful combatant designation. But so far, they did not provide any charges against him, and no charges against the more than 16 or 17 doctors who continue to be enduring harsh, inhumane treatment in Israeli torture camps. There currently is about 75 to 90 healthcare workers who continue to endure these conditions. And it is our obligation as doctors, healthcare workers, to speak up and to talk on behalf of our colleagues and do everything we can to demand their unconditional release. That's why our campaign to DC this coming Thursday on May 14th is going to be focused on asking our elected officials to demand the release of doctors, healthcare workers who committed no crime other than providing care. And we invite everyone to join us. The more of us speak up, the more of us join, the more of us write letters, the more of us call our elected officials to bring these names and shed a light on this illegal practice by Israel, the more we can be more impactful. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you everyone who is coming. Thank you everyone who is supporting us. If you can come, that will be great. The more of us shows up there, the higher is the impact. If you cannot make it, please call your elected official and speak on behalf of our colleagues, the doctors, the nurses, the paramedics who need to be released immediately. Here with us, the son of Dr. Hussam. He joined earlier, but I think he has connection problem. He left, but hopefully he will be coming back soon. But we do have Abir Salman, who's been working with the family. She's a correspondent for CNN. And she has been following the case of Dr. Hussam even before his abduction, like we did. There is a campaign now that we are all trying to make it bigger and more impactful all over the world to release these doctors. Abir with us. Abir, if you want to share with us any comments about what's happening. You have been following the case. You are in Palestine. Abir is currently in Palestine, in Jerusalem. She's the correspondent for CNN. And she did write a few stories about Dr. Hussam and his colleagues. And we are happy to have her. Thank you, Abir. And inshallah, Ilyas will join us soon. But we will continue the discussion. Go ahead, Abir. تفضلي.
Thank you, Nidal. You actually said it all really nice. But from a personal experience that I'm having lately, even with colleagues who are being released from Israeli prisons, and I'm not talking now as a journalist, I'm talking totally as a friend of Dr. Hussam Abu Safia's family and Dr. Hussam Abu Safia himself. I met a colleague of mine who's a journalist, actually, that was released from Israeli administrative detention, they call it, in the West Bank. And for Gaza, they call it unlawful combatant. And I met him and I couldn't believe that this is him. He lost half of his weight. He says that what's being done in prisons against everyone, not only doctors or journalists or people with professions, is simply genocide inside prisons. And when I heard this, I asked him, actually, because he was also in Negev prison, where Dr. Hussam is being held now, if he saw him. And he said that the Gaza prisoners are being held separate from the West Bank prisoners, so they're not together, but they know that they are all under the same conditions, whether it's food being given to them, whether it's water, shower, shampoo, those basic rights that any human being should be having, even in prison, they're not having. They're simply deprived of any right. And for Dr. Hussam, what I want to say is that, first of all, he's not, the extension of his detention is not for another 6 months. It's an extension with no time limit, which means he can be actually released at any time, at any point, because he has nothing against him. There is nothing against him, no charges, no trial, nothing. Which also means that any pressure might help, whether it's in the street, whether it's diplomats or a family, or I don't know, but or even media, but it all should be together. And I believe also that there hasn't been enough pressure from human rights organizations inside Israel itself. And this is what makes the pressure, I think. There should be a petition that should go from all human rights organizations all over the world, I think, with the Israeli human rights organizations to the Supreme Court in Israel, because this is the only place that can change the fact that those people are being detained for no charge. And this didn't happen until the moment. It's only Physicians for Human Rights Israel, I think, that they they appealed to the Supreme Court only last Thursday, and it's only for 14 doctors. It's not all for all the medical staff inside prisons, from Gaza. So I think if there is kind of association or something between you guys or, and Physicians for Human Rights Israel, for example, I think this will be really powerful, especially if it's signed by more and more doctors from all around the world, not only from Israel and not only, from the UK or only from the US. It should be something more universal, because this is really, just like journalists, if it's a colleague and it's a journalist, we should be speaking about them. We should be the ones as journalists that are, demanding and going to our colleagues that represent journalists. And with you guys, it's the same. It should be those organizations that should work together. This is an advice, and I'm talking here again, not as a journalist. I'm totally talking about, as maybe as a friend and a family friend.
Thank you, Abir. Yes, that's why actually we are kind of re-energizing our campaign to release Dr. Hussam and his colleagues, the doctors, the healthcare workers, and all the hostages who continue to be there inside Israel. And I agree with you. As doctors, healthcare workers, we have higher obligation to speak up on behalf of our colleagues. That's why we are doing this campaign. It's the title, the main topic of our visit to DC and our advocacy on the Hill this coming Thursday. We do have a letter actually that was prepared in joint work between Code Pink and Doctors Against Genocide and many other healthcare workers. It is signed by about 7,500 signatures. This petition, we want to send it to the AMA, American Medical Association, because like all
but
other
can you
major
also make sure it gets to Israel, because this is the place where you can change things. The US, I don't know, maybe, but I think if it comes here to Israel, you have Naji Abbas.
Yes.
Yeah, it can really be. I think it can have more impact than only in the US. What do you think?
We can discuss this. So far, we have been trying not to contact anything Israeli
I know.
directly,
I
because
know.
honestly, I really think they don't even deserve that honor. But since Naji is Palestinian like us, and he's part of this effort, so we are open to this discussion. Inshallah, we can, talk more about it and see if we can have signatures between a joint work between Doctors Against Genocide.
I definitely
healthcare
don't
workers
mean let's
organizations,
make
and
peace.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
I'm just saying maybe this is something that can help push
Yes.
things forward a
Yeah,
little bit.
that's a good idea. We are willing to try anything that can help. And I think the effort that Naji is doing and you're doing is great. It's important. And we're willing, inshallah, maybe to have a new letter to, in collaboration with Naji and you and Physicians for Human Rights. Again, we have to discuss this, we have to approve it and see the mechanism, something that is reasonable and at the same time impactful, inshallah. I just heard from Ilyas, they had a rainstorm or something, they lost power, they're trying to get the power back. So he will be joining us, inshallah, soon. In the meantime, since you are here with us, Abir, and we have our colleagues here, we want to open it for discussions, ideas. Anyone has any ideas how we can make this campaign to release our colleagues more impactful? What ideas do we have? Let's brainstorm. And when Ilyas joins us, he can also sheds more light on the current situation of his dad.
You know, Nidal, I just want to add
Thanks.
something that happened in recent days. The Sumud Flotilla activists, Thiago and Saif, the one that represented, the organization that represented Thiago and Saif was Adala, which is an Israeli, basically, an Israeli human rights organization. It's all Palestinians, of course, 48ers, but they work in this organization and they represented them. And they were in court. I was going to court and during the hearings, and I saw them, and I was so impressed, to be honest. And I think it had an impact, yes, because of all the protests that happened around the world, and because, you know, of everything around those activists, but also because an Israeli organization was there to represent them. It's not the Palestine's Prisoners Society that, unfortunately, they don't listen to, they don't care, you know, to hear anything from them. It's from their own system.
Do you think Adala can help us with this? If we can have
May I add
I think
to
so,
that?
yes.
Hold on, please. Do you think if you can connect us with Adala, please, and we can have maybe a
Absolutely.
joint campaign with them, that would be
Absolutely.
good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, who's this? Annie? Annie wants to
Yes.
speak? Go ahead,
Yes,
Annie.
I work with Adala very closely, and Abir, this is exactly what I wanted to add. They are 48ers. They are
No,
brilliant.
they are Palestinian.
Yeah, but
Yes,
they
I don't know
have
the
also
I
the most pro-Palestinian Jews working with them. They go directly to the Supreme Court. They bring the cases in Hebrew. The most recent case they are fighting right now at the Supreme Court is against the recent policy of execution. So they are the front line in the way that the doctors are the front line in Gaza. And I speak with Adala about weekly because I'm very involved in their work. And I think this is a very good idea you have brought, Abir.
So Annie, we're going to have a group with you, Abir, and the rest of the team, and we will try to see if we can have Naji and a group from Adala and see if we have a joint campaign to join forces and find any way to be more impactful and more helpful for our colleagues. Dr. Swiyang?
No, I just want to support Abir and Annie because I have a long association with the flotilla, and myself have been arrested, and the people who actually managed to get out of prison was through Adala and the Israeli Palestinians lawyers, because we can campaign a lot overseas. You see, the more we campaign, the more trouble people get. It's just out of spite, you see. But we have to acknowledge that. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, any other ideas, suggestions about the campaign that we're going to DC, how we can make it more impactful for now? Dania, Iman, do you want to talk more about the campaign to DC?
Yeah, I think what we're doing, I feel that's unique this time is we're going to go with a roster of names, and we're going to try our best to humanize them. I feel like there's been such high, inhumanely just numbers, I feel like, at our advocacy trips that are just kind of dished out, that I feel like it kind of has just become numbing for the person saying them and also the person receiving them. So I think our goal this time is to just, you know, humanize every person that's every healthcare worker that is sitting in Israeli dungeons, and you know, and just to be clear, although we're leading with the 18.
You know, as Karama said the other day, nobody should be sitting in those dungeons. But we will hopefully utilize it as a pathway to, while we're focusing on the 18, hopefully it's a pathway to shine a light on the rest. You know, I know Abir, you mentioned that some of them, the doctors taken from Gaza are separated from the doctors taken in the West Bank, and just to think of just the depths of cruelty, you know, that they're being subjected to, because they, you know, because they're from Gaza specifically. So Iman, I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, that was great. I mean, that's really going to be our main focus. So it's this Thursday, the 14th. You know, please sign up. The more folks that we have, the better, so that you know, they understand how important this is. And I think to shed clarity, I'm not sure, one, that they understand, like, I think they just assume everybody in the prisons, you know, even though you don't even have to, you're not have to be a healthcare worker. I mean, there's most are, you know, are innocent, but they've been fed this propaganda, right? That they have a connection to other groups and stuff. And so I think it's important for us to, you know, take this misconception down and to really explain to them in vivid detail, you know, what exactly is happening to them there. And, you know, some of them have been there like since like December of 23, you know, and, you know, we just don't want them to think that we have forgotten about them. And it's not to say that we're not going to discuss all the many other issues that we're going there for. But, you know, I think like Dania said, if there's a way to start with this group, you know, and getting them released, you know, can this be a path towards the other almost 10,000 people, women, children, men that are being unjustly imprisoned? So yeah, please join us.
Thank you. Thank you, Iman. Phil, you want to share anything? You've been advocating for the release of Dr. Hussam for a year and a half now, too. And you're doing those weekly events also in front of Yale. So go ahead if you want to share any ideas, suggestions, please.
You're muted, Phil.
I was not only muted, I couldn't see my screen. Well, one thing I think we should discuss in preparation for these discussions is just how far to go in describing the conditions that all of the Palestinian prisoners are undergoing, in particular, the systematic use of dogs to rape prisoners. If there's anything that proves, you don't need it, but if there's anyone who can deny the depravity of the system of Israel, it's the systematic use of dogs, the routine use of dogs to rape prisoners. And I think that's not going to fall on deaf ears. It may be that they cover their ears in hearing that, but it's such a powerful and grotesque image that I don't think you can talk about somebody losing 40, 50, 60 pounds in prison, and that's bad enough, but this is just a very powerful thing. And I bring up the suggestion that this should be a vital part of our presentations, this particular aspect of their detention. And this is true of the physicians as well. I don't know specifically with the 18, well, with the 16 who are still alive, if they've been subjected to this, but it would surprise me a little bit if they haven't, actually. That's my piece.
Yeah, I think I just saw the other day pictures or a video of many of the detainees or illegal abductees, showing pictures of them before and after. And the pictures are horrifying, horrifying. You don't need to say anything else. Just see the picture. How did they look before? How did they look behind? So maybe we can print some of these pictures and share them, with the people there. I really think they're very visually impactful. I mean,
Mhm.
no one needs to hear whatever, allegations are against this or that. Just seeing the picture by itself says it all. And as they say, one picture's worth 1,000 words. So thank you, Phil. I agree. We have Nadia Health from Scotland. You've been doing some work in Scotland. Nadia, are you there with us? Nadia?
Yes. Hello, can you hear
Ha-
me?
Yes, we hear you. Do you want to put your camera on, or it's hard for you? If you can.
Right, I'm gonna put it, right, okay, I'm trying to put it on, but it looks like it's not working.
Okay. So Nadia, if you
Can you
can
still
please
hear me?
yes, we hear you. If you
We
can
can
please
hear you.
introduce yourself, and tell us what kind of work you've been doing, or campaigns, or any suggestions you
Okay.
have for us.
Yes. Okay, certainly. My name is Nadia Abdur Heath. I'm the daughter of a doctor from Jaffa. I live here in the Orkney Islands of Scotland, which is an island group way in the very far north of Scotland. Now, since October 2023, we have been having Palestine vigils outside our local cathedral in the main town. And every week we get dozens of people to join us, not only locals here, but people who are on vacation, people who come off cruise liners. So over the months and years, we've had literally thousands of people join us. And it's very heartwarming. We take pictures and videos, we post them online. Our friends in Palestine can see what we are doing, and it gives them hope and strength that they're not forgotten. Our connection with Dr. Abu Safia, I'm the chair of the campaign, his release.
We can't hear you. I think we lost
that
you.
Palestinian prisoners are being held in.
You fade, Nadia. You fade in and out. I think we
Nadia,
cannot hear you
we will
anymore.
wait a little bit on you until you get your connection fixed. We have Gur. Gur, are you available to speak a little bit? We need your experience with media and campaigns too. If you have any suggestions, please. Gur, are you there? Again, Elias is still trying to get his connection fixed. They lost the connection due to the storm, but he's still working on it.
Hey,
Gur,
so sorry.
are you with us? Hi, Gur, how are you?
Good. Sorry.
Someone suggested we work with the Israelis. What do you think?
I was going to ask the question because it wasn't clear to me why. I was going to ask the question, and I'm sorry I don't have the name in front of me right now.
It's okay, no problem.
But of why it was a CNN reporter that was saying this, but why the Israeli human rights orgs have not been louder, and is that the case? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah,
Not exactly. Not exactly. The thing is that Israel have made it very difficult for Palestinian prisoners' families to find a way for their loved ones to be represented in Israeli courts, which means in the West Bank, for example, it's very simple. Those who are being detained or abducted by Israel, they are automatically being represented by the Palestinian Prisoner Society. But in Gaza, it all happened all of a sudden. So no one knew beforehand how to deal with this and who to go to and who should they speak to. So the first thing that has been done, I think months after, was human rights organizations like Hamouked, and there's another one. Sorry, I lost the name now, but there are two Israeli human rights organizations that work actually here in Jerusalem that posted it online that if you need us to represent your loved one who's inside prison, please reach out and give us the details, and you need to sign on a paper. And this is by Israeli law. This is not that they wanted it to be that way. You need to sign a paper that it's kind of a consent that you agree for us to represent your family member. But then in Gaza, as you may all know, there was no internet connection until today. It's not the best, you know. How can I sign a paper when I don't have internet connection and I don't have even the way to call you in Jerusalem? It costs a lot to call someone in Jerusalem. So what happened is that it took so much time for people to figure out how to reach out to human rights organizations in Israel. And what in the end, when for example, Physicians for Human Rights came to the picture, it was a little bit too late, because there was already someone who took over the case and decided that she's representing Dr. Hussam, while the family didn't want her to represent Dr. Hussam. So it was all a mess. And I'm here talking about doctors. I'm not even talking about the regular prisoners who don't have a profession like a doctor or a teacher or a journalist. So why didn't human rights organizations do anything? I think they are doing, but they are a minority. They're not being heard here in Jerusalem on when they go to the Supreme Court. And they are not representing enough people because the families of the people didn't come to them. So they cannot just take the cases and say, oh, we are representing them. The Physicians for Human Rights Israel, what they did with the 14 doctors is that they reached out to the families of each one of the doctors, and they could take the case to the court and represent the 14 doctors. Although there are 18 doctors, for example, not 14. So I don't know if maybe I sounded as if I'm not saying anything that you should misunderstand, and I'm sorry if I said anything that was misunderstood. What I mean is that I see how when it's someone from the Israeli system itself defending, and I'm not saying only an Israeli, it can be a Palestinian also, representing a Gaza prisoner or a West Bank prisoner, how powerful it can be, much more than when it's someone who's a Palestinian lawyer that is coming to Israel and doing this. It's
Do you
just
have examples on like when this actually worked?
Only 2 days ago, it was Tiago and Saif.
Those are not Palestinian.
Yeah.
So they hold
still.
like obviously Brazilian and Spanish passports.
Ali Samoudi is my colleague and friend. He's a journalist from Jenin. He's been detained for a year under Israeli administrative detention, and he was represented by Israeli lawyer, Palestinian citizen of Israel lawyer,
Where
who
is Ali
represented
from?
him. Sorry?
Where is he from, Ali? From the West Bank, Gaza?
Jenin. Jenin. Yeah.
Adala,
And,
I would echo.
Adala is doing a great work. So we really, Adala is
Yeah.
a good group to work with for
Adala
sure.
is
I'm not sure
really
about the
good.
other ones, but Adala is for sure, because I consider Adala Palestinian. They do have the fact that they have the Israeli citizenship give them access, and we need to leverage that, because as you said, if you don't have the Israeli citizenship, you have no access at all.
Exactly.
So to my knowledge, even when they took our land, my family did hire a Palestinian who has an Israeli citizenship lawyer, because at least he can move around, he can apply for stuff. If you don't have
And this is
citizenship,
exactly what I
you have no
meant.
chance.
Exactly.
You have no
Yeah.
chance to even get there anyway. So yeah, when it comes to this, of course we are all on board. Adala is great. Go ahead, Gur.
Yeah,
Gur,
no, I was going to echo. Adala has been amazing. I've been working with them over the past couple of weeks, specifically on Tiago and Saif. We just actually had the press conference in an hour ago. It wrapped up in Barcelona, where Saif spoke upon his arrival, and we're waiting for Tiago now to land in Brazil tomorrow afternoon they're amazing, and they are they're fearless, and they know the Israeli law inside and out. And from the media perspective, I'll just say a couple of other things. One is that, you know, working with the flotilla, we've purposefully been mentioning Dr. Abu Safia in our messaging as it relates to political prisoners, and extending that halo as far as we can from the flotilla. And so I think there is, I think, tactically something there in terms of working with as many organizations as possible that may not even speak normally about political prisoners, but you know, to include that in their messaging. And then secondly, it's just also from a just straight media tactical perspective, is to, you know, have a pretty with whatever campaigns we do, is to just pound it in their face nonstop and be relentless about it. And really, if we're working with an Adalah or someone, work tangentially with them to make those communications happen. So it really becomes a 360, you know, surround sound mechanism. And I think that's what's proven so powerful. You know, certainly what's proven so powerful with Safe and Tiago over the past week.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. This is actually exactly what we're trying to do, to have, as I said, 360-degree, cover it from all angles, from all directions. Let us be in their face wherever they go. And I think you, Gur and Abir, I mean, can be very helpful for us on this, you know, to help us, give us the advice so we can cover it from all fronts. And working with Adalah will be a great thing if we can leverage the voice of doctors and healthcare workers globally to give them more kind of like, you know, more credibility to keep pushing for this as much as they can. Any ideas? We're still waiting, hopefully, if Ilyas gets power back, get the connection back. Karama, what do you think?
Yeah, we'll wait for him, yes. I mean, there was a comment on the Q&A that pressure does not works if from the White House and the State Department, but not from the elected officials. It has to be from the Trump administration and not, you know, the Congress or the Senate. It's possible that this is the case. However, we have the access to our elected officials in the Congress and the Senate. And this goes into the 360 strategy. So we have to raise awareness and educate from every aspect. If there is, you know, maybe we should also try to put pressure on the State Department and Mike Huckabee in Jerusalem. And maybe Annie can also speak to what we're trying to do with Priests Against Genocide together. And that can be a way to pressure Huckabee, who is supposedly a devout Christian. I mean, we are trying from every direction, from every place where we have access, and we can do this together with different thoughts and different ideas. So open to all suggestions and open to collaborate with everyone who is worth collaborating with.
Yeah, on the White House though, like John Ruhr, one of our DAG members, has been like, when they intercepted the flotilla and he was arrested, and they reached out to the embassy and the embassy reached out to the White House, they got an answer back that no, we're not going to help you, you're a terrorist. So like, I don't think the White House is primed. The White House needs to be pressured, and I think the pressure needs to come from the elected officials if they're ever going to do something. So I don't know. I have very little faith in this White House, the Black House, as we call it.
And we also should not forget the power of the people. We know there are elections coming, and I think the elected officials do have an incentive to listen to us, and they know that all those pro-genocide, you know, candidates have been losing, despite the millions and millions that AIPAC has been, you know, supporting them with. So We need to use this leverage. We, the people, we are their constituents. We, the American people, it is our taxes, it is our money, and we're going to use this leverage wherever we have access. We do have access to our officials because these are the ones we put there, and they work for us. Whenever we have access, if anyone has access to State Department, to the White House, the administration, of course, we're happy to use our influence, our leverage. And as Gur said, it has to be a 360. You have to try every single angle. You don't know what is going to work, what's not going to work, but we need to put them in a situation that they are going to see us wherever they go, whether they are in administration, whether they are in Congress, whether they are in the media, whether they are in the streets, whether they are in their local offices, whether they are in Israel, whether they are in the United States, whether they are in UK. And the more we, all of us join efforts and, continue to keep the voice of the voiceless loud and clear, they will eventually listen. Again, we don't have the magic bullet. We cannot give them orders, but we will not forget. We will not give up. Annie, do you want to tell us about the other joint group or campaign with the Priests Against Genocide, please?
I would love to. First of all, I just back from running, and I want you to see what I always run with. And I feel very powerfully when I run with this shirt, knowing that I have the 2 legs, or 2 feet, 2 legs. I have freedom of movement. I have freedom of access. If I fall over, someone will take me to a hospital. So it empowers me to carry Palestine. And in Bethlehem, by the way, they just had a half marathon a few days ago. And I mean, they had a full marathon in Bethlehem. And then in Gaza, they had the half marathon for the amputees. And if they can do this, surely I can run outside in Los Angeles. So it's why I'm sweaty, why I maybe sound a little breathless. But I want to report on giving a little bit, and it will come to Priests Against Genocide. First of all, thank you to everybody who responded last week and since last week to use this time not only to listen and learn and be in solidarity, but to give. So there was a great uptick, and every week I'm going to come to you with a bit of an update. Next week you'll have a full update, but basically it was a massive uptick. We're asking for, if you're a student, an artist, you don't have a lot of income, please give weekly. There's an option, and please give at least $20 a week. If you're a professional like me, a doctor, so on and so forth, please give a minimum of $200 a week. If you gave last week, give also this week. Keep giving. If there's we heard from Sudan last week, the report from Congo was unbelievable. If you want to enhance that, just keep giving. So we'll have a full report next week. But I want to come to the notion of the number 1 and really talk about why. We as Doctors Against Genocide, and the same with Priests Against Genocide that you're about to hear from, we believe in Islam, in Christianity, and in Judaism. There's a saying that we say slightly differently, but we all say, to save one soul is to save the world entire. It is the most beautiful statement of all religion. To save one soul is to save the world entire. And this is the spirit of DAG very, very much. So I think when you give, think about it, that you're going to carry not just the money and all of this, but you're carrying a soul, the message to the doctors, the message to the people on the ground. You are carrying a soul, and it is our, not our duty, it is our kind of gift to be able to know that to carry a soul is to carry the world entire. Now, the number 1, a week ago, I want you to think of little things you can do. I sent one message, was the number 1, to the head of something called Priests Against Genocide. I'd never heard of them. I was intrigued. DAG, PAG, it was kind of cute. Oh my goodness. This is a big news report. You send one message, let me tell you what happens. They responded right back. The head of, this is Catholic. They're very, very, very big. They're only like 12 months old. They're already in 52 countries, 2,000 priests. This is not their congregations. The priest has a very large congregation, okay? They responded immediately. Within a few days, we have a campaign going out. This is the Catholics. They're very organized at 9 a.m. Monday morning Eastern time. A letter going to all the House and Senate Catholic elected officials. You may be stunned to learn, I was, 35% of the House and Senate are Catholic. And let me tell you, they listen to each other. And the Catholics are, as are the Episcopalians, which I am, they have brought you Zionism. They are the Zionist bulk. There are more Zionist Christians than there are Zionist Jews. I learned this from Priests Against Genocide. So we're not making this up. They're the ones saying it. There are more Zionist Christians in America, actually, in America, than there are Zionist Jews in the world. So this is very, very important. So one message led to this, and this is going out, a joint statement, joint letter, and we'll copy all of you on this at 9 a.m. Eastern Monday morning. I want you to think about how we're going to change the entire narrative, and that is now until the November elections. If the United States stands down just slightly against all, objections in the UN and, Mike Huckabee not taking care of the flotilla of people, if they stand down, this is the bottleneck. We're sitting on it in the United States, whether it's the Catholics or not. So we have until November. I am confident that if we can change the direction in November, we open up the aperture significantly to get in, get more doctors, get more aid, get more schools, get UNRWA back. I mean, all of this, and we have to. So I'd like you to think of one thing. I'd like you to do one thing a week and make a list of 20 things that you're going to do, one a week, that just pushes you a little further, like I wrote to Priests Against Genocide out of the blue, and now we have something. Whether you bring somebody to the May 14th action or the next one, whether you give this week, whether you bring somebody to give to DAG, or you just bring somebody on a call to DAG, if you come up with a list, and I invite you to send that list to the DAG email and really commit to just do one thing a week that pushes you beyond even what you're doing. We have to get to November. We have to fund DAG. We have to do one thing a week, and it really, really adds up. So if you're sitting on the call and you haven't given, please give weekly. It's the system. It will take care of everything for you. If you haven't gone to a DAG action, maybe make that one of yours, and make a list of 20 things from now to November weekly. And we are going to win. We are going to turn the tide in November. And if we can, we open the door back to Gaza, to the West Bank, to Lebanon, to Sudan and Congo. We cannot make it unless we turn the tide in November. So please do one thing a week, make that list, support everyone, everywhere in this campaign.
I got a question for Annie. Annie, 2 weeks ago, you sent a link for us to give just to DAG, and DAG can choose what to put the fund in, and whether it's administration, whatever it is, or giving to Congo. And where is that link? I can't find it. Because now you see, I can see Gaza. I'm already giving a heck of a lot to Gaza. And then I might want to give to Sudan, but I had done it in the past. But I want the one that's
I'll share that. I'll send it now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to send every week.
Yeah, I copied it, but then it didn't work. I think I better left out something, So you can do that. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, and you can, by the way, there is no administrative cost for DAG. This is
I know
one
that
of the
isn't.
great, yeah. So just for
we pay for the website and we pay
No, but
yeah.
things
Yeah,
like
sure.
pay postage, and things
This
like
is
that.
one of the
printing.
remarkable things about
Yeah.
DAG. If you give
No
also
admin
now,
cost. Yeah.
tomorrow, the money
goes,
is
yeah.
on the ground in southern Lebanon and Congo.
I know.
It's mind-blowing, simply mind-blowing. Adala, for all the work I do with Adala, which has been many years, yes, they have to pay their lawyers. And this is one of the few places where Bukra, the money is on the ground, working.
Yes.
And
Not
what is
Bukra,
brilliant,
inshallah.
inshallah, what's brilliant is DAG, and I know some of these systems from some of the stuff I do, knows how to get the money in.
Yeah.
We will say not more. It's complicated. And
we
so
want
it's
to
not
know.
only is there no overhead, they know how to get the money in, and it gets there tomorrow.
Yeah. I can see the link is out now, so I better do this now, okay?
Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, so hopefully we will have some of the priests against genocide on our webinar to speak to us. And it is, I think, it is a very powerful group, especially, because as Annie said, the Catholic Church is very, very big, and there is a lot of potential in having them, having their awareness become more broader and focused on things beyond the local issues, like Father Hegel said, beyond the issue of whether you're pro-life, pro-choice, actually be pro-life in the sense that you want people to live and not be killed with your tax dollars or your military equipment and political decisions. So it's an exciting partnership. And even though DAG is non-religious, but DAG will always be open to anyone who is against genocide.
Absolutely. And Annie, next time you run, I'm going to send you a DAG shirt.
Absolutely, or a DAG hat to wear with, because I support Palestine football.
You're in for a
this
treat.
is the
You are in
football
for a
shirt,
treat,
yes.
Annie.
I'm just a moving billboard. You should see me at a big Palestine event last night in Los Angeles. I had more things going. I only wish I was taller to carry more.
Iman, you have a hand up?
Yeah, so Annie, I don't know if any of the members of Priests Against Genocide are in the DC area, but like we would love for them to come to us on the Hill. I don't know, maybe we're going to be there on the 11th of June. And so knowing that they would be coming with us might help us secure meetings with those Catholic offices. I remember it's been a while, but I remember there was one of the Catholic senators we met with, like his foreign policy person, and he himself said, like, if you could get somebody from the Catholic Church to come out with you guys, they may listen to you more. So if that's a possibility, I know this Thursday's soon and we're sort of focusing on the healthcare workers, but like if on the 11th of June, if some of their members would like to come with us and we kind of know ahead of time, we can focus our ask on they will be with us and we can address, because you're right, there's a big list. I remember Dania and I one time sent requests specifically to the Catholic senators and representatives. And so there's a lot of them. And I think it would give us a little bit more legitimacy if we were coming with Catholic priests. So maybe we could talk about maybe doing that for the 11th. Thanks.
And Annie and Martha Miller, you guys should talk. So I will connect you.
Great. I think that's a wonderful idea. They know about the 14th. It was just a little short. They've done their own action. They have direct relationships with 150 people in the House and Senate. So this is huge. So I think your idea is a wonderful one. We will be in touch. They hope to come join us maybe next week. By the way, the head of PAG was on the call last week listening, was simply floored, absolutely floored by what he heard. And he only had time between giving 2 sermons, he was in church, to hear the report from Lebanon. And it was jaw-dropping for him. And so I think your idea of they are so committed between now and November to moving the needle, to have them join DAG on the 11th is wonderful. Dr. Iman and I will join with you in reaching out to them.
Great. So Annie and Martha need to talk to each other. Why, Karama? Because they are both Muslims or what?
I think they would get along really well.
Make Catholics
And
Muslims
I
again.
think they will become friends.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, everyone. Catherine, let's hear from Catherine. Catherine, are you still there? I'm sorry, Catherine. You know, our webinars are very long. Catherine?
Maybe
Dr. Catherine Esperanza.
also Nadia is back if she wants to try her connection again.
Let Nadia go.
Yeah, yeah. Catherine, tell us how you feeling. I know it's not easy, and we're sorry that you're going through this, but we want to hear from you. We want to hear how we can be of more help. You know that we are all here. We got your back. We are supporting you. If there's anything else we can do, we are here to hear, listen, share, and support.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And for those who aren't familiar, on May 1st, I was brutalized by the Portland police. They held their knee on my neck. I said, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. They put me in the same position that murdered George Floyd in 2020. And they charged me with interfering with a peace officer on Tuesday. They're going forward with that, pressing those charges. I had my pre-trial on May 22nd. And in all of this, I've thought a lot about, Palestinian hostages, what they experience. I mean, just one day of solitary confinement was enough to psychologically break me, to be denied medication for a day. And I can't imagine experiencing this for months and years. And so I think we just need to continue to advocate for all people who are experiencing police brutality, experiencing war, experiencing torture in prisons. And hopefully with me speaking out about what I've experienced, we can continue to use this as a platform to speak for our Palestinian brothers and sisters and those around the world experiencing the same thing.
Okay, guys. Anything we can do for Catherine when we go to DC? What do you think, Dania, Iman?
What's that?
When we go to DC, anything we can do to bring Catherine issue and other people, ICE victims there?
Yeah, I definitely think we'll mention to them that a member of DAG was brutalized. So yeah, we'll definitely bring that up. I think we have we're working on getting confirmation for 2 Oregon meetings. So definitely we'll be in the right offices to discuss Catherine's situation. But it's one of them is Merkley, so I mean, yeah.
Okay. Is Phil with us?
We
No.
spoke. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the plan for Thursday. So the plan is we usually go the night before. We meet, we have dinner together, and we talk about how we organize the day on Thursday. And we usually meet at Union Station at 9 o'clock. We will wait there for about 15-20 minutes to try to make sure everyone join us. And the plan this time is at 9:30 we're going to AMA, all of us, with a petition that has 7,500 signatures to give the petition to AMA on behalf of the doctors, healthcare workers who are abducted by Israel. So the AMA should have a position on this, should speak on behalf of the healthcare workers. So far, they have not been listening. They have not been moving on this, but that's not an excuse not to keep pressuring them. So we expect to have about 50 of us this time. So we go to AMA, which is very close, it's a walking distance. We stay there for about half an hour. Then by 10 or 10:30, we go to the same place where we had the press conference last time. And we have our press conference for about half an hour. So about 10:30 at the same, what do they call it, Senate Park? Upper Senate Park, yeah. For about half an hour press conference. Then after that, we will have our visits starting around 11 or 11:30 a.m. So far, we have 10 scheduled visits. Hopefully, we'll have few more. Usually, we get few more, when it
Oh, we have
comes
still
closer.
4 days.
Yeah, we still
Monday,
have 4 more
Tuesday.
days. Yeah. So we might up ending, we might end up having about 20 visits, and we usually put everyone in teams. So 50, we can divide those into maybe 6, 7 teams, and each team will have 2, 3 scheduled visits, and the extra time we can have walk-ins to go to other offices and pass the petition on behalf of our colleagues, plus all the other demands. But we're going to be focusing more on the healthcare workers this time. Okay, Hadil, are you there? Hadil, you've been quiet today. Hadil?
I am here. Sorry, I had a few setbacks. I'm still recovering from surgery. How's everybody doing?
Sorry.
Hadil al-Salami.
Allah يسلمك يا ربي.
Oh, well, sorry, we should have checked up on you sooner. Are you
No,
okay?
It's okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Do you
I'm
want the
good.
Doctors Against Genocide to come check you out?
You might do a better job than my own doctor that's supposed to take care of me.
Nishi?
I know I'm in good hands. I showed the x-rays to some of my students and they were like, Khalti, I don't think they did the right surgery for you. I was like, "Bashtikum bil khair, ya Rab." Thank you very much, you guys. بس يعني الحمد لله. Right now, we are actually, our students are coordinating with fifth year medical students in Gaza, and they're going to be launching a diabetic awareness, like how to help people in Gaza cope with diabetes when there's not enough insulin to go around and what they can try to do. So we're super excited. And we have somebody that I had met thanks to Mary Beth that I had met when I was in DC last month when we did the advocacy day, is helping create and make this a research project also for students, so that way it builds awareness around what happens during a genocide and how diseases and illnesses that are usually very I won't say treatable, but can be maintained, are not in Gaza during these crazy times that are happening right now. So yeah, and if anybody wants to check out, we just finished our new newsletter for Education Rising International as our students are preparing for their next step in their phases. So there's a lot of emotional support that's going on right now, and I wish that I could be there with you guys this week in DC, but I hope to be there in June.
Inshallah. نديري بالك على حالك. Take care of yourself, Hadil.
سلامتك Hadil.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dr. Suyang?
Oh, okay, I'm here. I managed to get into the link now. Well, I'm really actually not very well mentally, because now our government is kind of whipping up the cracking down on people who support Palestine in any way. So, but it's very heartening because I just feel I want to share with you when you're just feeling so rotten because all your friends, more and more people are being arrested and all that kind of thing. You should increase your activism. I think psychologically it makes you feel a lot better. Okay. And yesterday I was able to go to a student encampment, and they are celebrating the 2nd anniversary since they actually came out to make their university divest from many funds invested in, including Barclays. So, it feels very good. And one of the Filton people who have been released on bail actually said that, when he was asked by the judge at his trial, did you actually go into Elbit and smash up with a hammer their instruments and their machines? And so he said, yes, I did exactly that. And every time I smash up one of their windows or their machines, I feel that I'm actually destroying the complicity which have stained me in the past. So it's a very, very fantastic statement. I'm going to send you all their speeches, on the day they were acquitted. So the other thing which some of us are doing is that there's a petition going round still on the Israeli Medical Association and the WMA, World Medical Association. So far, the British Medical Association has actually cut ties with the Israeli Medical Association. The Turks have joined, the South Africans have joined. So now I think maybe some of us who are members of, the Canadian and US and all the other, Malaysia is joining as well, can think about it as well to keep the momentum going. Of course, it's not as urgent as Dr. Safia and so on. Actually, Nida, they raped Dr. Adnan to death in prison. There's a witness statement who say that actually they use a fire extinguisher to do it. And he had severe anal lead and died. So, but this is, I think it's too much to tell you. Capitol Hill, I think you're correct. Sometimes less is more. And all the best next week.
Thank you, Dr. Swiyang.
Yeah.
We have our rising doctor also with us, Dr. Maribeth.
Oh,
Maribeth,
wow.
are you there? Doctor turned politician.
Oh, wow. You
Tafadali,
look so
Maribeth. What do
cute.
you have?
So wonderful.
I don't think I could ever be a politician, but occasionally I do nominate my other half, Ben Brownlee, to get into politics. He's much more polished of a person than I tend to be.
Is he agreeing?
Let's
Is he
do it.
Let's do it.
Ben.
It or no?
Here.
Ben, come, Ben, please.
Come, Ben.
What does it take? What does it take?
The politician.
Let's use the advocacy strategies on him. What does it take you to get there?
He says he's not Zoom ready.
He's not Zoom ready?
That's not an excuse.
Hey, Ben, how are
He
you?
went for a run and hasn't gotten freshened up yet, I guess.
Don't worry about the
Wow.
Zoom.
Hello.
Don't worry about the Zoom. We want you to be office ready.
No,
for
Sam.
election.
Sam.
It's okay. He can come.
All
I
the
think
family is
Sam
here.
is the one who wants to run.
Sam, do you want to run for office?
Oh, what office am I running for? Sounds like a yes.
Now let's be
Exactly.
careful with ourselves here for a second. All right. Think global, act local. What are some ways for kids to get involved in politics at more local levels?
I thought I was gonna run for office. I want to be in the White House and press the Diet Coke button and get a Diet Coke whenever I want.
It's like he thinks
That's
he has to
easy.
make jokes, but
That's the only reason I want to be president.
well, I don't even know why I bother. I don't
Let's go with Ben. Let's go with Ben. I
Happy
think.
Mother's Day, everybody.
Yeah,
Happy
that's right. I
Mother's Day
forgot
to
about
you.
that. Yeah. So given that none of us are politicians, we are all activists, right? Is that correct?
Well, it's interesting. Like you have to start with kids at an early age, introducing them to sort of political thought and revolutionary theory. And it was my oldest who first, some years ago, the way he described anarchism to me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That I was like, probably I am an anarchist after all. But Sam is actually, at least in theory, opposed to communism because it can only be a perfect system if administered by perfect people, and humans by our nature are imperfect. So we go through all of it.
Good.
Did you hear about this new thing they passed a few days ago about anti-Architect or something, or leftists? I mean, something that criminalized them. They are
Yeah,
going against these groups, anti-architects and leftists and Antifa.
anarchist,
The anarchists, yeah, sorry.
anti-anarchist and
Oh,
anti-leftist. Yeah. None of us is anarchist. None of us is
No,
leftist,
no, no,
guys.
no.
We're
No,
good.
we're activists, but not anarchists, okay? It
We're
begins with
very,
A.
very good.
Does anyone know what Antifa is, by the way? I mean, this Baba اللي حاطين إياه, they want to scare everyone with Antifa. With that.
Don't
I've
say
never
the
met them. I
word.
mean,
Don't
we've been
say
going
it.
to protest everywhere. I've never seen an Antifa protest or Antifa organization or group or a petition or an office.
Well, when there was a congressional hearing with the head of the part of the Department of Justice that deals with that sort of thing, and so this representative said, where is Antifa located? I mean, where's their headquarters? How many members do they have? And there's no answer to that because there's no such thing as an organization. But in this administration, it doesn't have to have any semblance to the truth. They just invent it out of thin air. And so there's an annual report from the Department of Justice on domestic terrorism threats. And a few years ago, the most likely threat of terrorist acts was considered to be from right-wing militias. And there was a lot of pushback against that. Well, now it's Antifa and leftist and pro-Palestinian activists. We are the number one risk for domestic terrorism, according to this administration. And I kind of want to laugh at that, but it's actually very serious because, as Dr. Suyang said a while ago, people are going to get arrested. More people are going to be arrested. And that's how they're going to try to deter us. And we have to have the courage that, Action Palestine or Palestine Action has.
Yes, Palestine Action.
Yeah. All those thousands of old people who hold up their little sign that says, I support Palestine Action, and they get arrested for terrorism. But they've done it.
Yeah, I want to tell you this wonderful, I just heard it yesterday. You know, the senior editor of the British Medical Journal, and she's got children are grown up. So the children want to go and demonstrate in favor of Palestine Action. So she said, no, you don't go, okay? It is guaranteed arrest. So she said, I'll go, right? So then she got arrested, okay?
Yeah.
And she was so proud of it. She's bailed, yeah. BMJ senior editor, can you imagine?
Yeah.
So if you want anything published, I think, can send to the BMJ. Got good people there. So no matter how old we become, we got a role. Because we elderly people can afford to be arrested. We got no mortgage. We don't have to worry about kids going to school, right? Or we have to make sure that, we get all our debits and so on done properly, and then we go to prison. It's okay, right? Career not affected, right? Yeah. So there's a role for senior people, retired doctors as well, retired lawyers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And maybe also for priests and nuns. Okay.
We need a retired doctors against genocide, actually, chapter or group.
Is that a group actually?
I don't know. We need one though. I think
Yeah,
we
we
need
This is
one,
a
yeah.
this is a really good time to read the story of the Berrigan brothers. Are
Okay.
you all aware of the Berrigan brothers?
No.
Okay, that's all I'll say. I'm going to leave it to you to find out who they are, what they did during the Vietnam era. One of them was a priest, and they participated in civil disobedience, and you might say criminal disobedience. One of them broke into a selective service office and poured blood over all of the records to destroy them, and went to prison for that,
Yeah.
but made a point.
Yeah.
Now, the Berrigans, that's the kind of courage that we need. I'm not sure I have it myself, but they're certainly an inspiration. I'll pull up a couple of references, a
Yeah, please.
book and an article. If you have time to read the book, and if not, read the article.
That'd be great.
But it's time for that kind of courage.
But in London, you don't need that kind of courage. All you have to do is sit on the field outside Trafalgar Square, hold a placard
Yeah.
and say, you know, I oppose genocide. I support Palestine action. Somebody got
Mhm.
arrested and said, I oppose genocide. I support Plasticine action. So the police got in.
Yeah,
And
I saw that.
there's a big long queue for bail. And my friend was behind the queue. And then suddenly the police came and took this man out. Say, your placard is wrong. Can you imagine that? Maybe we should all buy a t-shirt like that. Okay. Yeah.
I think Dr. Sui and Phil and Dr. John Rohr, you've been putting yourself on the line. You are brave. You have all what it takes. You've been doing a great job, and we're really
Catherine, don't
inspired.
forget about Catherine.
Yeah,
No,
Catherine.
forget
Catherine
about
is
Catherine is
really
not
the victim.
retired. Catherine is not retired yet. Catherine, in a way, she's
She has
still
more courage.
Now,
she's still
it's more,
serving in the army. But for Phil and
that
Sui,
is even
John,
more demanding, you know, if you're serving in the army to do something like that, not retired, a lot to lose. The young people lose a lot when they do that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's more at stake. But I mean, I really think it needs all of us.
Yeah.
Whether young or middle age or old. I mean, you cannot wait. There is always, honestly, this is what I hear from all people who have been silent, people who have been complicit, is they come up with excuse, whether it's a risk for this, a risk for that, I'm the sole provider, I'm this and that. I mean, if you want to wait for the perfect time will never come.
Yeah.
And with all the crimes that we see in this world, with all the exploitation that these criminals, these billionaires, these Epstein class, the Zionists, all the genocides, the stuff like that. If we want to wait for the perfect time, then honestly, we are betraying ourselves. We're betraying our professions. We're betraying our children. We're betraying our shared humanity and the future of our world. I mean, I don't think our um, presence on this earth is just meant to just be here, work, and die. Each one of us has a responsibility to contribute to the history of humanity, to add at least something
Yeah.
positive to the common good.
Absolutely.
And we should try. No one is asking you or any one of us to go and, just risk it all. You don't need to risk
No.
it all. Each one of us is smart. We're all smart people. Each one of us can assist their own risk. And there is always something you can do.
Yeah.
As long as you're trying your best, take some risk, some calculated risk. It doesn't need to be crazy, but there is always a room for us to do something. And the more of us do it, it becomes less risky, actually. That's the thing. They cannot fire all of us. If more of us speak up, if all the national healthcare workers speak up, they cannot fire all of us. So actually, when more of us join, we are decreasing the risk on each one of us. When we
Yes.
all go and protest, there is no police force in the world that can stop 1 million protester or 2 million protester. And
Yeah.
honestly, with what happened in Gaza and Sudan, and even here at home, there should be protests by the millions in the United States, in Europe, everywhere, not just, you know, the usual suspects of a dozen or 2 dozen or a few hundred people. And the same at work. I mean, the more of us do this, it becomes the norm. We set the standard, we set the norm, and no one else can fire us. Even those bot politicians, when they see more and more of their people are just not going to go along with you know, with their interest groups and the Zionist lobbies and their handlers, they will have to change course.
Yeah.
And you know, we already have examples like Mamdani. He won in New York. New York
Yeah.
is like the capital of Zionism, the
Yes.
capital of capitalism, the capital of everything wrong in this world. And despite all of this, when you have a brave and inspiring politician who has integrity, it can inspire people and it helps inspire others too. So we have to keep pushing. We cannot give up. We just need more of us, and you know,
Yeah.
mobilizing and doing stuff, whether by speaking, by writing, by joining, you know, groups, by building organization, building institutions, because we cannot always be reactive. That's another thing. Our work cannot always be reactive. Like whenever there's a storm, everyone reacts, then the politicians hide it somewhere, then we all go back to business as usual. That's exactly for us, the pro-Palestinian movement. We have been guilty of this for many, many decades, that whenever there's a flare up, they start killing some people, we all kind of, oh, no, 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 that's wrong. Then they know how to do it, they hide it, they distract us with something else, and we forget about it. We never built strong institutions that keep the work. You cannot stop. You cannot stop. They are very smart. Our enemy is very smart. They're not stupid.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be smarter, and we have to be more persistent, and we have to be more brave. And we are really thankful for all of you, each one of you, for trying. And I really think none of us went to school for this. We are all
No.
learning as we go. We all learn from each other. We all empower each other. We all inspire each other. And we all also improve as we go. We make mistakes. That's fine. It's not a crime to make a mistake here or there. We make mistakes. We learn from them, but we come back better and stronger. Is Annie still with us? Annie?
She left the
Annie?
email.
Yeah, we want to make
Yes, yes, I'm
we
here.
want to
Oh, you're here.
also
Okay.
we want to make also some money to help support those
Well,
communities.
I
While we are on the road to fix the world, those people need some support. If you want to help us,
Right.
please.
So I just want to say something. While you probably saw me turning my head, I have different screens going. Since last week's call, so last week's call all week and this week's call, we've had 100 contributions. Now, in the scheme of the universe, maybe not so much. That's phenomenal. So I want to congratulate everybody at DAG, all the listeners, 100 in 7 days. And some of you, like
Wow.
Dr. Swiang, I see all the gifts you have given. There's a whole page just for you. And many others. There's somebody called Oliver. He's been giving a lot. I mean, we see you and we thank you. And so wonderful since just last week. So we're going to keep ramping this up. Every action, just one action every week makes a difference. And I know everybody's heart and soul is in it, and it's showing up on this long list. And soon,
Wow.
you know, the list will grow with everybody we bring to the activist table with us. So thank you for the last week, all that everybody has done.
Wow, Annie. Actually, we had more people on the webinar today, you know. I'm going through the names to see all these wonderful people who say they want to join but didn't come. Okay. Because last
There's
week I
always
was
next
listening.
week. There's always
Yeah.
next week, Swian.
The link is active for eternity, right? The
Yes,
link is
it is
kind of
active
okay.
for eternity.
Okay. From the time when you're a young doctor to
For
senior doctor to
eternity.
retire, I will do that. Yeah.
Can you
Zoom
sign
forever.
the sign up page for the campaign for May 14th in the chat, please? Some people are asking about it. Sign up, please.
Yes, I pasted it actually earlier, but I'll add it again.
Okay, guys. So last week we had the webinar was about 5 hours, 15 minutes, and it was amazing. It was really strong, but it was also very exhausting. So intentionally, we said, I mean, although it's good, it's enjoyable, it's helpful, but we cannot do it that
Every
long,
week.
every week. So intentionally, we did not invite as many people this time. So we'll give you a little break. 2 hours plus is good enough, I think. And give more people more time to prepare for the May 14th. We still have the press release, press conference, leave behind. Dania and Iman don't do anything. They haven't been helping us. They are not making appointments. They are not making teams. They are not making all of this. They
We
have
have
been actually
67
busy
people signed
nonstop.
up, by the way. 67.
I just counted. Iman sent almost 20 plus emails while we're here on the webinar today. So thank you, Dania and Iman, all the time. Without
That's
you,
multitasking extraordinary.
multitask. I don't know how you do it, Iman. Wallah,
Fantastic.
to Dania are something else.
We are very lucky.
May I ask
okay.
one thing? I'm
Yes.
not sure technically, because yes, it's Dania and Iman who I think support all of us who are good but not excellent technologically. I posted the letter, the DAGPAG letter and the press release on one part. I'm not sure if it went to the whole group because I think it's worth seeing the letter going out.
You know,
Copy this letter, print the letter. The PAGS people have encouraged that you actually print and mail it, that you want the paper to hit the tables. So the press release is excellent, the letter is excellent, and during our call I've just invited them to join forces, as Dr. Iman had mentioned, on June 11th. So hopefully that, but if you see the
does
letter.
PAG have a logo or not yet?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to check.
Okay. طيب هلا another question for you. We can put the press release on Presswire. It will go to massive number of outlets, and we can also send them the link. Is that okay?
Oh, I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, perfect.
Right, we do that.
So we're gonna do it through the contacts that we have, the media contacts and the press wire, and also they are free to do it through their channels or their contacts too. So this way, we'll try to spread it out as much as we can.
Tamam.
I have a question for Phil. I know you have those posters or banners for Dr. Hussam and his colleagues. Can we make a bigger one? Do you have enough time to make a bigger one with the campaign thing, or do you think it's too hard? It's kind of
banners take a while. Posters I can get tomorrow. Banners, I don't think we have enough time between now and next week. But I'll bring both of those banners.
So you're coming next week?
Yeah.
What do you want the banner to have, Nidal?
I thought maybe just bigger picture of Dr. Hussam and his colleagues or something of the 14. If not, I think we can.
A banner like this?
Yeah.
Well, did you see the banners I brought to last
I think
month?
they were good enough too, yeah.
They're very large, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can use the same
I
banner.
mean, they're 3x6. They're 3x6. That's
okay. That's good enough.
That's pretty good.
Wow, the Logic 6. Wow.
And there's 2 of them. So
Yeah,
yeah. That's good enough. So there's no
That's
need.
fantastic.
Maybe we can print some photos.
Yeah, the photos of the healthcare workers themselves.
Healthcare workers.
Yeah.
Tamam.
Can I ask one question? And I don't want to discuss this now, but I do want to talk about it next week when we're down there. Are you familiar with the group called A New Policy?
Yeah.
So I was invited to listen to their last webinar, and I thought they were very, very well organized.
Yeah.
I mean, they're insiders. I think the people that founded it were themselves congressional staffers.
Yeah.
And I don't know
Josh
if we've
Paul
made
was in
any
the State
outreach.
Department. They were both in the State Department, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Tarek
I don't know if we've
and,
made any
Tarek and Josh.
overtures to talk to them, but and there may be something about them that I'm not aware of that is not a good idea to join forces.
No, we know them. We work with them. Sometimes we
Okay.
send them our leave behind to just
Okay, good.
review
Yeah.
it. And we had a meeting with Tariq Habash a few weeks ago.
Couple of
Okay,
weeks
good.
ago. Yeah, we're working with them.
No,
with
they're
Tariq
good. They're
and
good
Good.
group.
Good. Yeah. Well, and
We like
their
them.
mailing address is in Detroit. So I
Yeah.
don't know. They have a Washington office, but their actual corporate address or whatever is Detroit. So I figured you must know them. But yeah.
Actually,
Great.
we know them more from DC, not from Detroit. But yes, yeah, they do have good work here, and now they're working with Abdul Said. I think they're working very good with him. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
they do. They are a C4, so we do work with them with whatever we can do as a C3. But there are things that only them can do. But we usually get their advice whenever we go to DC. If there is any specific things, them and other group. Also, Iman is also part of another group called the Ceasefire Group that has multiple other organizations that are kind of like professional lobbyists and stuff like that. So we usually get updates from them every week about what's going on, what bills are going on, which ones to support and stuff. So we try to at least stay informed. We still want to keep our identity as healthcare workers, doctors, coming from the medical angle and approaching things from the medical and humanitarian angle rather than professional lobbying, which we cannot do anyway. I mean, we're doing advocacy
Right.
as a C3, but
Yeah.
Iman always gets the updates from them every week, their meeting, and also actually we were planning to do more work with new policy with Tariq and Paul. And of course, I mean, we're always open to suggestions, ideas, and to improve ourselves, to make our action more impactful. So
Yeah.
whoever has any better ideas or anything else we can add, of course, we're ready. Whether it's media, whether it's people who are professional doing this. But eventually we
And
have
are
to
we
go
going to try
together.
to go to the teach-in? Pink Floyd. Code Pink is having a noontime teach-in on Thursday in, I think, one of the House of
Fetterman.
Representatives.
Fetterman. It's at
Fetterman office.
Fetterman's office. I had already.
Oh, it's at Fetterman's. Okay.
Yeah. My guy Fetterman here in Pennsylvania. Yep. I'm planning to at least break away and go to the noon teaching with Code Pink since he is my senator.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like with the veterans group, I just met with his Philly office like last month. So they need a visit from this
Because
space every month or two.
I
so they don't
RSVP'd. I
forget.
just wondered if anybody else had.
But
So-
yeah, I think anybody's welcome to go.
Yeah,
I
good,
think because we
good.
have so many people signed up, like we're not sure how to go about that. I feel like because we have like so many people, I think whoever wants to go to that should like let us know so they can be placed in that team, because I think that office needs to be at full capacity with every person in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what else we can do is for all those who don't have meetings at that time, which is 12 to 1, people who have meetings already scheduled, they can go to their meetings, but everyone else can go and join that teach-in. So this way we have
Yeah.
more of us there.
But RSVP, so they have an idea of how many of our
But-
people are coming.
But a warning, a medical warning, you have to have what do they call it, EpiPen with you because of Fetterman allergy. It's not easy to be in that office at all. So you need steroids, you need the EpiPen
Yeah.
in that office. Although actually his staff are not as bad. We met with them before, and at that time it was a new staffer there, and she said she's okay. She's open to talk to everyone, although maybe her boss doesn't approve of this. And
If we take
not
Benadryl and prednisone before the meeting, is that enough?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I think Zyrtec
Okay.
now, Phil.
You know,
I think it's
you are
Zyrtec,
the emergency
not
room doctor,
Benadryl.
so we'll leave it for you. You plan that.
Well, that's the thing is staffers are like the nicest people. Everybody
They
in that
are
office
nice.
is really
Yeah.
so
They are
nice.
nice.
Even the lady we met with, I mean, she's has like this long resume of humanitarian work she's done, and it sounded like she just needed the company from us to sit among her and tell her she's not crazy, and that she, this is wrong what's happening. So everybody in that office is very kind.
Good.
Oh, I want to say something. I've just read the letter of Priests Against Genocide and DAG. It's a fantastic letter. Did I get it right that anyone you all to print it out and post? But I thought, since you're going to the Hill, why don't you print out a whole lot and pamphlet the Hill? It's a very respectable letter.
Again, print out what you said?
No, this letter, the DAG and the Priests Against Genocide, this letter,
Yeah.
address, saying, so on and so forth, the 7 points and all that. It's actually a very good letter.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, we're gonna take it with us.
nothing political in it. It's really against genocide. So if you print out a whole stack of it, and then as you go round the hill, you just pamphlet and give it to everybody and just, help us deliver this. Then you don't even have to put a stamp on it. That's what I'm saying.
Let me do this. That's a great idea. Let me take out the deer part so that it's a one-pager. I'll see if there are logos we throw in. So that's more of a statement than a letter. I think that's great.
Yeah.
But anybody
And-
who's willing to send it out, email it out. They said email and paper mail. That was what
print form,
Peg's recommendation is. But
E-
then we'll do a
even the
version
doorman.
with some logos.
Yeah.
Good.
And pamphleting is not illegal in the USA yet, right? In the UK, it is. Right? You cannot
What?
pamphlet in public buildings. Okay.
What's not illegal again? What is it?
Distributing pamphlet. So you might not want to make it be seen that they are pamphleting the Hill, right?
No, we go to the offices, we give it to them, we talk to them. No,
Okay,
they're
then
good
that's
with it.
okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't need
Yeah.
appointment. That's actually,
yeah.
I mean, the only good thing left in the United States. We have
Yeah.
all offices are accessible to the public. Anyone can go
That's
in. They never even
fantastic.
ask for ID. We have Canadians coming with us. We have
Yeah.
aliens coming with us. No one ever checked, so
You
it
mean
was
fake
good.
Americans?
Like Americans. I'll
Yeah,
be an honorary American.
and the staffers usually are decent people, nice people. If you approach them, professionally, we have this, we are this group, and we hope, we want to share with you this leaflet or this leave behind. We never had, at the beginning, we had issues because we wanted to cause issues. We were loud, we were very angry, rightfully so, and we were cussing them if they don't respond. And
Yeah.
maybe we should have done more of this.
Yeah,
It was only
aggressive
Maribeth
lobbying.
doing it was only Maribeth doing it, but with time and
No, I'm
yeah,
over here laughing at you like, okay, maybe the volume was high, Dr.
yeah,
Tabor, but we weren't cussing, really. Not
Yeah.
I
really.
mean,
We
No,
weren't
no.
swearing.
yeah, I know. It's
Little bit.
no,
Yeah,
but I mean,
just
it's do something.
it was vociferous, passionate advocacy
Yes.
work,
Exactly.
worthy of our hearts.
We were giving them
Right.
the right titles, like
Yeah,
child care.
passionate. Yeah.
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 We'll change our adjectives a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, Mary. Mary
But
Beth.
with time, we kind of like got used to them. They got used to us. Especially when Dania and Iman took over, we became more kind of trying to build an ongoing relationship with these staffers, trying to win them on our side, make them feel like they are part of the team or we are part of their team. We are all in this together, try to do the right thing. Of course, pretending to do so or hoping, at least, hoping. And so it's been very, very more respectful relationship. And again, we have to remember, that the staffers are not the one who make the decisions, but they do have influence because if they keep
Yeah.
bringing, one subject over and over to their
Yeah.
meeting with the representative, it does make a difference. And honestly, I think many of the elected officials are very influenced by their, chief of staff, by their foreign policy and stuff like that, or whatever you present. Like the same with the president too. I mean, the
Yeah.
president is not doing all these crazy things because he's
It's
the only one
lobbied.
who's crazy there. He is surrounded by crazy people who feed
Yeah.
him crazy information, wrong information too, to make him make wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Because if the military around him told him that this mess he started with Iran is gonna backfire on us and drag the whole world into this disaster, I think he will not make the decision.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's surrounded by people who are all, think the same. They're not the smartest, they're not the most competent people, they're not the one who should lead us. And everyone, honestly, even what they call Pete Hegseth, I'm reading, investigations now. Pete Hegseth does not make any decision there. His deputies, who are all Israelis, dual citizen Israelis, and the AIPAC
Correct.
money, and also owners of war companies, they have ownership in manufacturers that make
Big
weapons.
shares.
So what advice are they going to give him? And they are the one who are calling the shots.
We need
They
a big,
want
big
more war.
war.
It's money. It's business for them.
The
I mean,
more
Trump,
people you
I
kill,
mean,
the more money you make. Yeah.
yeah, Trump changes his mind 3 times a day. Why? Because he's playing with stocks. There are insider informations. He tells his people, sell now because I'm going to make this announcement. Then after that,
Yeah.
I'm going to change it and go buy. I mean, they are making business. They are making billions of dollars just by playing with us with the news. He's not crazy.
Yeah.
He's just, they are making billions of dollars doing this. And the only one who's paying for all of this is us.
Yeah.
The politicians are making their money. Those war profiteers are making their money. The lobbyists and AIPAC and the Zionists are making, their interests furthered at our expense. It's just the American people, the Western people, the people of the world, the regular people are paying for all of this. Okay, guys.
Trump Jr.
Uh-huh.
Created a startup military drone company,
Oh my God.
and he's gotten a $600 million loan from the Army, specifically from the U.S. Army. I mean, the corruption is just amazing.
Gee whiz. So as though we
Yeah.
haven't got enough drones. Yeah, we're gonna have more.
Yeah. Well, the people have to rise.
We are rising. The elderly, the young, the infirm, and the fit. All of us. Okay.
That's right. The Grand Coalition.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic.
Is this a
Okay.
wrap?
Anyone wants to add anything else, guys? We're ready
Yeah,
for
all the
this week.
best.
Let's go and do the work. Let's go and do the
Yeah,
work.
all
Keep
the
it up.
best. And I'll be
Catherine,
thinking
stay
of you
strong.
on
We are
Thursday.
here. Please, you are here. We are only one message away. And we'll keep fighting, keep mobilizing, keep working, keep coming with new ideas, keep thinking. And we'll see you, inshallah, everyone, next. Those who are coming to DC, we'll see you on Wednesday, the night before, on Thursday. Then for the rest of you, next week. Thank you and have a good one.
And all the
Thank you.
best.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.